Well, a shark attack victim is lucky to be alive after she was bitten during an evening swim at a private wharf on Sydney Harbour. The young woman suffered significant injuries and blood loss but remains in a stable condition in hospital. Joining me now is Dr Amy Smoothey from the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries. Thanks so much for your time. There's been a lot of speculation that this is a bull shark. Would that be correct?
The tragic event that occurred last night is really sad, and my thoughts are with the victim and the first responders and the family of the victim. We have received images of the injuries, and we can confirm, based on the bite characteristics, that bull shark was likely responsible for the injuries.
Wow, okay, so the photos of the injuries, can you tell us a little bit more about that and the characteristics, as you say?
Each shark has a distinct bite patterning, and we can look at the spacings between the teeth and the nature of the bite pattern to determine the species. And based on our forensic investigation of the images provided to us, we can confirm that the species responsible was a bull shark.
Wow, did it bite her on the calf or the ankle? What was it?
I can't go into details about the injuries. They are severe, and my thoughts are with the victim.
Fair enough. Okay, let's talk about the shark population in Sydney Harbour. Has that increased, bull sharks? Is there a greater risk, or is this young girl just very unlucky?
There's no scientific evidence to suggest that bull shark numbers are increasing in Sydney Harbour, but what we know from our tagging and tracking research that we've been doing at New South Wales DPI since 2009 is that bull sharks are more numerous, more abundant in Sydney Harbour and our coastal waterways during summer and autumn. And this is because of the water temperature. Bull sharks are a tropical, subtropical species that come down from Queensland in the warm months, and they utilise our beautiful Sydney Harbour and coastal waterways when water temperature is above 20 degrees. Bull sharks are also more numerous in Sydney Harbour when water temperature is around 22, 23 degrees, and that is what it currently is at the moment.
Is there a risk in shallow water? Is it unusual for bull sharks to be in this particular area in Elizabeth Bay and in the shallows?
From our tagging and tracking research, we've tagged 87 large bull sharks in Sydney Harbour since 2009. They're ranging in size from 2 metres to 3 metres in total length. And what we've found from tracking those individuals is that they utilise the entire stretch of the waterway. They frequent Elizabeth Bay. They go from the harbour entrance all the way up the Parramatta River, Lane Cove River, Middle Harbour. They utilise the entire stretch. But what we have found is that bull sharks are a crepuscular species, such that they're more active during low light levels. So they're more active at dawn, at dusk, and during the evening. And this is when the swimmer was out. Our Shark Smart messaging is to avoid murky waters during low light periods such as dawn, dusk, and in the evening, because we know bull sharks are more actively feeding during these times.
Okay, so there's something in that at dawn and dusk then. It doesn't just look sharky and a little bit more ominous. They are actually more active. Is that feeding time, is it?
For bull sharks, we know that those low light periods, so dawn, dusk, and during the evening, they're more active and they're actively foraging. That's if we were to go and target bull sharks for our tagging research, that's when we actively fish for them. We know that they typically occupy deeper waters during the day and come out of the deeper holes into the shallow areas in the evenings. And so our advice is to avoid shallow areas adjacent to steep drop-offs, and also after heavy rain or when the water's murky. Bull sharks are a great ambush predator, so they've got the added senses and they can detect us rather than we won't be able to see them. Also, if there's any bait fish around, we know that Sydney Harbour is full of kingfish at the moment, a common prey of bull sharks. So there are ways how we can be shark smart and enjoy our beautiful Sydney Harbour, but this incident was a tragic event, and shark bites are very, very rare.
Dr Smoothey, you do tag a lot of the bull sharks in Sydney Harbour, as I understand it. Do you know this early on if this particular shark has been tagged, and what will you do if you can identify it?
We have no evidence to suggest that this was a tagged shark. We won't know, and we never will. What we do know is that it's very unlikely for the shark to stay in the area. Bull sharks utilise, as I said earlier, cover large distances of Sydney Harbour from the entrance up to the river reaches. They're one of the few species that are physiologically capable of living in freshwater environments. So that makes us potentially more likely to encounter them because they can use the brackish waters that people often have as their backyard on the beautiful Sydney Harbour.
Yeah. It is a beautiful Sydney Harbour, but a salient reminder that it is a little dangerous from time to time. I'm hearing you talk about the shark population having this event last night. I've got to say, Dr. Smoothey, I don't think I'm alone when I say I'm pretty terrified right now about the prospects of getting in that water. Should we be terrified or just a little bit more cautious?
I don't think we need to be terrified. You know, our coastal waters and our riverine areas are the sharks' domain. That's their home. We need healthy populations of sharks for healthy waterways. Yeah, we really do. They're a top apex predator.
Is it a little bit too healthy at the moment, though, Dr. Smoothey?
It's not too healthy. There's no evidence to suggest that there's large numbers of sharks in Sydney Harbour. What we do know is that January and February is the peak months of when bull sharks are present. They like that warm water, 22, 23 degree water, which is currently present in Sydney Harbour. That's their preferred water temperature. They're here for foraging opportunities. Sydney Harbour is alive with various fish species. So we want people to enjoy Sydney Harbour, but exercise caution. And you can do that by being Shark Smart. And we encourage water users to download our Shark Smart app so that you can get informed about the risk at your local beach or your local area. All this shark tagging information feeds into the Shark app. Also avoid the water during those low light periods, so dawn, dusk, and during the evening, because we know that that's when bull sharks are more active. If there's any recreational fishing activities in the area or bait fish, we suggest to leave the area because, you know, we want to continue to enjoy our beautiful waterways, but be shark smart at the same time. And we know that now when sharks are more active. So we need to alter our behaviours so we can coexist.
Okay, Dr. Amy Smoothey, thanks so much for allaying some of our concerns there. Appreciate it.